All right, so let's address the Hamza problem. So, it's been a thing on a bunch of his videos. I love Hamza. If you don't know who that is, self-development YouTuber, uh, does really well, like blowing up right now. And he talks a lot about how like relationships and dating are the one thing that he really struggles with. Really struggles with like needing intimacy from women and things like that. And so I have a solution for him. I have a solution for, he knows that casual sex is bad, it splits the soul and all this stuff. And technically you shouldn't have casual sex, and, it's very bad, but he still does it. And so I'm going to talk about how to set clear boundaries so that if maybe you're in a similar position, you can solve this problem too. So it's worth noting, like, just as a disclaimer, like, a lot of you guys, you're not going to get to this point for a while. Like, you need to get to a point where you basically have pussy at your fingertips. Like, you have women hitting you up to hang out with you, them reaching out to you. Like, it's very easy to get laid with attractive women. If that's not where you're at yet, like, you can watch this because you'll know it's going to be a problem at some point, because it's something I've gone through. It's something that Hamza is going through. It's something that some of my clients have gone through, but it's not something that you really need to like worry about right now. This is not, if you have like two girls that you've hung out with in the last like 3 months, then this is not a problem for you. But as you start getting really good results, and you kind of go through that degenerate phase that I talk about in my 7 stages of dating video, you'll start to realize that, like, oh shit, like, I need to be less sex focused. And I set some really clear goals for myself that basically I could not achieve unless I dropped the focus on sex and short-term gratification and all that stuff, and like getting the validation from women. And so I'm gonna give the same solution that I found, because I've been with a lot of women too. I'm not actually sure. I want to say 100 because that sounds cool, but deep down I think it's probably 80 or 90. And I don't plan on crossing 100 in my lifetime, because I'm engaged. I'm going to be married, and I've kind of given up on the whole casual sex thing, and it's from a place of abundance and from a place of choice. And that's where you have to get to as a man. Like, it needs to be out of choice. It can't be because women don't want to sleep with you, because that's not really out of choice. That's out of necessity. And so if you're at that place where women, it's hard for you to give up the validation from women, then this video will help you. And hopefully, Hamza, you're watching this video, because I think it'll help. So I know you're in Thailand right now, and what I would say for you, dude, is that I think you really need to set clear boundaries around the types of women you're going to sleep with. I know you've journaled a lot about your ideal wife and what you're looking for in that, but here are the facts. You will sleep with a lot of the girls you hang out with, even if they seem like an ideal wife candidate up front, and then you sleep with them, and then you start realizing, like, oh shit, like, this isn't really good for me, right? Like, this isn't right for me. She's not my ideal wife, but she's like still cool. I would set clear boundaries and really journal on the type of girl that you are okay putting your dick inside of. And like, that sounds weird, and it sounds weird for a lot of guys watching this channel, because they're like, oh my god, like, I will put my dick in anything. But you need to set really clear standards for like what types of girls you'll approach, what types of girls you will actually have sex with, what types of girls you would get intimate with at all, or hang out with in like an intimate setting. What's that look like? Because you can have your ideal wife in mind, and that's important, but you also need to have a standard for the types of women that you let try out for that position. And that's kind of what I ended up doing. I had very clear standards for the types of women I would like actually sleep with, and I still ended up having like a decent amount of sex. But here's the thing, it didn't kill my soul like the degen, like go out to a bar, talk to any girl and bring her home, that type of thing. Like, any girl I think is hot and like fuck her, and then like she leaves the next morning or whatever she leaves that night. Like, that kind of stuff was like kind of soul crushing, and I stopped having those experiences, those soul crushing moments with women when I started like having clear standards for like the types of women I would sleep with. And it was because I actually sat down and I got really clear. I didn't journal at that time, but I remember I got like pictures and I got like examples of like my type. This is stuff I have like my clients do. So I started doing that for myself, and it actually helped a lot. It helped me stay way more focused. Girls were like the right types of girls were way more into me because I had clear standards. Higher quality women were way more into me. And it was just a very powerful, like, very powerful exercise. And because I'm sure that, you have your big ass community that's gonna like shit all over you for like engaging in casual sex or whatever. But you can make the sex a lot less casual, and you can make it a lot more about an intimate bonding experience between two people, even if they're not going to be together for the rest of their lives. You can actually make that happen if you have clear standards for what that looks like. Like that, I saw your Dubai story was really cool, and I think things like that can happen with women that you're interested in. Even if it's not going to be a long-term thing, especially as you're doing the whole travel thing, you're traveling all over the world. As you're doing that, having clear standards and then being open to finding a long-term relationship, I think, is really powerful. Because let's be honest, dude, if you're not getting married for 5 years, like, you're probably not gonna abstain from casual sex. You're probably not gonna abstain completely from sex that whole time. You might even get a year, but then you're gonna have like a soul-crushing experience again, unless you get this handled and you set some clear boundaries around it. And what I would say is like no more than once a month. Find one girl per month at most to like kind of fill that role of like the intimacy and the relationship, but like make it very clear up front, like, hey, I'm not, this isn't like long term, but I do enjoy your company. And you can be open to that long term thing, but I think that's really the solution. That's something that worked for me, and so that's like actually my experience. And now I'm engaged. I have my like ideal woman in my life, and I'm super happy about it. And so that's where I'm coming from. So I recorded another version of this video, but I think this is a better example of what I would do. So if you're not in Hamza's position and you don't have a lot of women reaching out to you, this is probably an important lesson as well. Like, get to the point where you literally have women hitting you up a lot. Like, get to the point where you have choice, because you can't escalate to the stage, like to stage 5 of dating, which is like being less sex focused and more purpose driven and like really finding your purpose deep down, until you like have options, until you can look a girl in the eyes and like legitimately say like, no, like we're not having sex. Or you can look at a girl and like walk away even if she's really hot. You have like very clear standards. You can't get to that point where you're setting standards unless you have had a lot of experiences where like tons of women are showing interest. And I would definitely suggest to all of you watching this that you try to get as good at this as quickly as possible, as good at talking to women as quickly as possible, because that decreases the amount of time you are in that stage where tons of women are reaching out to you and you're not working on your discipline and you're just like engaging in like degenerate behavior, because a lot of guys will fall into it no matter what. And you want to do it in a safe way, but like it's still risky, right? And so as you build up your value, you're gonna start to like reap the rewards of your hard work. And it's important that you get to the end goal, get to the point where like women are hitting you up all the time, so that you can just have that experience and just be done with it, so you can start really building yourself up, building up your life, your career, your business, whatever it is. And that's why like I help my clients with that, right? Because it's just, if you can just supercharge that part of your life and get tons of results with women, like you can actually focus on stuff that's important. So whether you do that alone or like you get a coach or whatever, you just watch this YouTube channel, that's really what you want to do. It's my mission to make sure that you are guys that have women attracted to them for the rest of their lives. And this means when you find your ideal wife, keeping her attracted, knowing how to flirt, keeping her interested. She's still sending you dirty pictures like 20, 30 years in the future. That's what I want for you. And so if you're not there yet, if you're not where Hamza's at, like go out there and get to that point. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.